This that no nonsense. So yeah, I'm coming to you with a video about Kevin Durant and his sensitivity. Do I think he's sensitive? Of course I think he's sensitive. I think he has a beta male personality. But this is not going to be in favor of the media, right? What the media is doing is pretty much getting revenge on Kevin Durant for stopping LeBron James, which is their Lord and Savior, for winning rings. It's just that simple. KD, in my opinion, is sensitive because KD is the type of dude that apparently needs recognition, right, to his game, right? That's what he pretty much feels within himself. He needs someone to tell him that he is great. That's the type of player KD is. However, what the media is doing is nitpicking at him, and when he responds to they're like, "Don't respond to us. You're being sensitive," and then that just pretty much BS. I'm all for responding. However, you got to decipher trolls versus people who actually want a true debate. This is something I believe KD has to understand. A lot of these guys are trolls. They don't have your best interest at heart, and they don't deserve a response, in my opinion, because they're trolls. You can try to respond to them, but at the end of the day, KD, they just want to say crap, and then when you respond to them, say, "Hi, why you responding to me? You're sensitive," because their job is to be a troll. Then you got other guys who's going to debate basketball, and I'm all for that. People going to have their different opinions, right? So, like I said, with the media aspect, KD was like, "Stop talking about me so I won't have to respond." And the media was like, "No, we're going to talk about you. Don't respond or you're sensitive." So that's pretty much the relationship they had in Golden State. So now with this whole situation, KD obviously responded back to the dude called BT. He had a podcast. So apparently he wasn't a troll. And he would, that's what I've heard, seemingly, that he has a podcast. I believe the guy's name Brandon. I don't know his last name. Is BT, so I guess it starts with a T. So it was a basketball debate. I had no problem with KD responding back. I mean, he's a human being at the end of the day. But some guys are just trolls. And as far as the media, I knew it was a losing battle because they was just nitpicking him. And what I think about his move to go to state, for a competitive standpoint, right? For a watching standpoint, you can say that it ruined the competition of the league. However, it's not up to me to shame Kevin Durant, right? That is pretty much further than basketball in terms of that sense. He made a move that was best for himself, right? You can hate his move, right? You can not like him as a basketball player, but if you are a respecter of a person, right, then you should understand that if you make a move that's best for you, I might not like it, but that's you, right? You have $1 million. I believe him going to Golden State made him a better player. The problem that I have with him is he has a beta male personality. He's the type of guy that says, "No, I don't have a problem," then one day just blow up, right? He obviously had a problem with Oklahoma City. I believe that he should have been more vocal, put Russell Westbrook in check, because Russell Westbrook took over the team, because Russell Westbrook was the mentally dominant one, right? Then he went to Golden State. He was obviously the best player, but Draymond and Steph were the mentally dominant ones. And Draymond just plain emotional, right? So we look at the whole KD situation in Golden State. He let Shannon Sharp, Nick Wright, Max Kellerman, these LeBron fanboys, and this is before Max Kellerman jumped on the Kawhi bandwagon. These LeBron fanboys kick him out of Golden State because they was mad that LeBron can win rings, so they can fuel this stupid narrative that LeBron is better than Jordan. Right? These media mistress or media goons. Right? They tell him what you did in Golden State was nothing. KD, you went there to make you a better basketball player. However, if you need guys, right, to tell you that you're great, then I guess your move to Brooklyn Nets was a good decision based on what you want. However, this is a guy that criticized the Golden State's offense. So let's see how that offense in Brooklyn work when you coming off an Achilles injury and Kyrie is going to have to isolate because that offense is not as good as Golden State's offense. Just being real with you. So let's see how good that offense is going to be when it's stifled and you're going to have to get in your bag coming off an Achilles injury, as you quoted, getting your bag along with Kyrie Irving in isolation moments. Let's see how you do when Kyrie gets those mood swings, right? But time would tell. So they're going to talk about it.
Doesn't bother me at all. I mean, he's a basketball player, and I'm very particular about this. You know, there's a lot of people that go at him and they talk about his sensitivity or what have you. You know, as far as I'm concerned, if sensitivity got in the way of your game, then I'd have a problem with you. But I've seen Kevin Durant clap back at people and then go out and drop 40. This is what he does. This is a guy that's averaged a minimum of 25 points per game since his second year in the national.
But keep in mind, guys, Stephen A. obviously is the type of guy that puts connections first over his own opinions, because this is why he pretty much sounds like he's double-minded. He'll go off on the player and then connections with that player and not say anything bad about him again. His connection with KD is like a girl dating a dude that every girl wants. KD obviously doesn't go on television, or I would say on Undisputed or First Things First and all these other shows. The fact that Stephen A was able to get Kevin Durant to come on First Take is pretty much giving him clout, right? Like a connection he has with KD. It's like, oh man, you got the dude, because like First Take, not First Take, Undisputed and First Things First, all these shows that talk about KD, they want KD on their show. So he did this with Carmelo Anthony, right? Allen Iverson. He just finna bend his back backwards because he don't want to lose that connection.
National Basketball Association, one of the prolific scorers the game has ever seen, who obviously knows basketball. He's a two-time champion. He's a league MVP. He's a surefire first ballot, future Hall of Famer. And if he wants to talk basketball with people, I have no problem with that. If he's intrigued by correcting folks who think they know the game and clapping back at them.
Well, I don't have a problem with him clapping back. But some guys are just trolls. And if KD wants to clap back, all means him. However, I heard Grainy on Get Up, and I was going to do a video on that, but then I chose not to. I disagree with him. If he wants to clap back, then yeah, he could go clap back. I think that as far as KD is that type of guy that opinions matter, right? He's the type of guy that has to respond. But KD got to realize, a lot of these guys are trolls. They don't have your best interests at heart. And even if you know that, they just don't care about having a basketball conversation. Like in KD's mind, he's responding, trying to educate them on his opinion. But some of them is not looking for that type of debate. They just looking for it to take their anger out because their Lord and Savior, LeBron James, didn't get any rings during your time at Golden State.
Doesn't bother me whatsoever. And I don't understand how it would bother anybody when we constantly salivate over the notion of hearing what these guys feel from their heart firsthand, particularly as it pertains about a game they play and we either cover or watch or both. I see no problem with it whatsoever, and I don't understand for the life of me how anybody can have a problem with them for that.
Of course you don't, because you're trying to pretty much keep your connection with KD.
Well, I had two problems.
That's why you got your ladder and climbed up to his ball sack, and now you're riding it.
Actually, speaking to Jay Williams about it off air, Stephen A., I've changed my head around about it a little bit, but here were my original two problems. I want to lay them out.
Okay, so here's the thing with Max Kellerman. Max Kellerman has been anti-KD since 2016. I believe his first day on First Take was when Stephen A. went off on KD about, quote-unquote, the weakest move in NBA history, right? In order to promote LeBron James and not Kawhi Leonard, he had to attack KD. He's been anti-KD. He said he didn't believe KD was top 5. He had his top 5. He had LeBron number 1. He had, I believe, Kawhi number 2. And he had KD somewhere number 5 fighting with Steph, but he had KD out the top 5. He says debatable with him at 5, but he's putting up there with Steph. And saying this crap like, I don't know what can he do by himself. And there'll be a legitimate argument if KD was drafted and go to State. We knew what KD can do without Steph. That's why everybody was mad that he joined him, Max Kellerman. And you know that.
One, I don't think you punch down in life. You know, why is Kevin Durant arguing with fans? And two, this is a guy with a burner account, once upon a time, who seems to be very sensitive to stuff. But along those lines, let me start with the burner account. This ain't a burner account. He's putting his name to it. You have to respect that. And that's learning something. You know, once upon a time being too sensitive or thinking, how are people going to perceive this? But these are things I want to say, to saying, no, you know what? To hell with it. I'm putting my name on it. This is how I feel. And two, in terms of punching down, it really is the idea of not punching down an arrogant thing. Kevin Durant is a guy who respects people, apparently. It's not about signals of social, where you are in the social hierarchy that he responds to. It's about how you reveal your character, at least through the things you say, or in this case, type.
Be quiet, Max Kellerman. Be quiet. You get what I'm saying? Like, be quiet. You pretty much disagree with what Kevin Durant did. You showed your hand. And so now Jay will talk to you about it. And so now you're trying to play devil's advocate. You're like, well, a normal guy wouldn't respond to a nobody. They'll just keep doing them. No. KD is pretty much having a basketball debate to express his opinion because that's the type of player KD is. See, the problem I'm having with the media is that they believe that they can try to picture how to be KD. And like, this is what I would do. So what you're doing is wrong. No. Doesn't matter what you would do. This is KD. You can get your opinion on it. That's fine. But at the end of the day, KD got to live his own life. That's just it. A lot of these media guys coming on here was like, well, I wouldn't do that. If I make millions of dollars, I wouldn't talk to no nobodies. No. KD is human. Basically, if I was to walk up to KD and say, hey, KD, I have a basketball discussion, KD would pretty much talk to me. And that'd be a story I could tell my kids. You pretty much were saying that, oh, fam, you a nobody. Get out of my face. I mean, hey. I mean, it's good to do the trolls, right? Because a lot of those guys are trolls. But the media won't admit that they're trolls. The media won't admit that they're just mad because you stole rings for their Lord and Savior, LeBron James. The media won't admit that because that's why they're mad at you, KD. But all this this is what I would do, so KD should, no, that's nonsense. The problem I have with KD is that he lets opinion of others sway his decision, right? Because like I said, KD, you can try to impress the 5, but you'll make the 10 unimpressed. And when you try to impress the 10, you'll make the 5 that you're impressed back unimpressed. You're not going to make everyone happy. That's why you should do what's best for you. Right? Shouldn't worry about what Shannon Sharp, Nick Wright, Max Kellerman say because they're LeBron James fanboys. And Max Kellerman pretty much converted to a Kawhi fanboy. The boy's a convertible. And actually, so in that case, that tells me more about Max Kellerman. He's a bandwagon. So not only Max Kellerman is an analytical nerd, not only is Max Kellerman a troll, he's a bandwagon. So that should tell you, KD, these trolls don't want to debate. I understand that you want to tell them what's up because like a person that claps back at someone, you kind of want to put them into perspective or inform them. But they don't want to be informed, right? They don't want to debate. They just want to take their anger out on you.
That's cool. I like that. It's kind of awesome that he respects people that way. So along both those lines, I agree with him. Furthermore, our guy, Brandon Tierney, tweeted at him. I saw this on Get Up this morning, Stephen A.
Yeah.
BT used to work with you on the radio, and I've worked with Brandon on the radio. Yeah. And he criticized KD for, signing with the Nets instead of the Knicks, avoiding the pressure. I totally disagree with that point.
Of course I disagree with that because the Knicks hasn't been good since that Patrick Ewing team disbanded. That Carmelo Anthony team, they never made it past the second round. Knicks haven't won a championship since 1977. I don't know where they got the term mecca of basketball. But the two meccas of basketball are the Lakers and the Celtics. But those two are the most consistent teams throughout the history of the league. Right? Like I said, KD got to do what's best for him. If you are an NBA fan and KD destroyed and some of these guys, like I said, your team was garbage anyway, so it shouldn't have mattered to a lot of these guys. But if you're a fan of the game anyway, I can understand. But at the end of the day, as a person, KD did what's best for him. And that's just him.
I don't even think KD responded to that accurately. He decided to sign with an organization he didn't think was dysfunctional.
And I tell these fans all the time, if you're a star player, right, or KD's skill set, would you go to the Knicks? All right, then, be quiet.
Actually, they are the organization, the basketball team to watch in New York City right now, and they don't even have their squad right now. They play hard, they're well coached, and they have two superstars who are going to be available to them next year. And he made the absolute right decision there. So I got to say, in fact, my kind of knee-jerk reaction to KD doing this is not how I feel at this moment. I think that the fact that whether or not I would advise it were I,
Because that's what it's really about. It's about what you will advise. Because the media plays a father figure, quote-unquote father figure, a mentor towards NBA players. And that's the problem. You don't need to be a mentor towards the NBA players. Your job is to talk about the NBA. But see, then again, the media job is to promote drama. They promote drama and then disguise it as being a mentor. This is what I advise. They disguise as being the mediator. Right? Being the guy that knows from right is wrong. But in actuality, they to promote vitriol and drama and biasness and agendas and narratives. That's their job. So it doesn't matter what you advise because you're biased, you're an analytical nerd. And KD is perfect for analytics, but yet you don't like him. So you're inconsistent, you're a troll, and you're a fanboy, Max Tavius Kellerman. The reason I call him Max Tavius because for some reason, he acts as he wants to be black.
Him, whether or not I would advise it, it's an awesome characteristic to put your name on it and to not care who the person is who's saying those things, to respond to them and respect them that way.
Well, let me piggyback off of that because, BT is my brother. That's my man. We go back a long ways. Got a lot of love for him. Doing a great job on CBS Radio and all of that stuff.
BT, ask BT, is he watching New York Knicks games?
But BT sent me or told me to go and look at the tweet exchange between him and Kevin Durant. And BT's whole thing was that, the cat is sensitive. And my whole...
You lost the argument against him. He's right. If he was playing and Kyrie was playing, you would be watching. You lost the argument, so you called him sensitive.
Well, then what does that make us? What's wrong with Kevin Durant clapping back is something you've got to say about him. I don't have a problem with that. As a matter of fact, I applaud it because the attitude is that, KD might have an argument. Y'all are going to watch anyway, whether it's the Knicks or the Brooklyn Nets. You're going to watch successful basketball. In his eyes, the bottom line is I got to go out there and ball, and we got to win when I step on the court. And everything else will take care of itself. Other people are like, well, excuse me, the Brooklyn Nets will never be the Knicks. Well, here's my question. What the hell are the Knicks?
They ain't been nothing since that Patrick Ewing team went down. Since they disbanded. They went to the finals against the Houston Rockets. I believe that was 1995. And they went against the Spurs. I believe that was 1999. The lockout year. Probably one of the worst years in basketball history. Not taking anything away from the Knicks. That team was great.
Yeah,
what exactly are they?
Yeah, that's
come on.
An insult. They'll never be the Knicks.
Exactly.
If you're a Knicks fan, they'll never be the Knicks.
They were the Heritage franchise.
No, they were not the Heritage franchise. I believe that's what Molly Karen quoted. What did they inherit? They inherited a curse because they are a haunted house franchise. It doesn't matter what star player goes there. They're like a family. They're going to turn out dead until you get rid of the bad spirits, such as James Dolan, Scott Perry, and Steve Mills. They're the bad spirits. No matter what star player you get, until you get rid of those spirits, somebody's going to turn out bad.
Well, again, we're also, Molly, we talk. I have no problem. If I have a comment about a player and a player wants to respond directly to what my comment is, that is their right, and it behooves me to respond or react to what they say rather than the fact that they had the...
Because, Stephen A., while you up there on the ladder riding Kevin Durant's balls, they're mad because KD, quote-unquote, killed the competitors of the NBA, disguised as KD stopped my Lord and Savior from winning rings. disguised as KD stopped this stupid narrative of LeBron being better than Michael Jordan, disguised as KD embarrassed LeBron in the finals. See, a lot of LeBron's flaws that came out and became more pretty much perspicuous, right, explicit, as that LeBron doesn't go back as superstars. So you can tag that with Dirk, you can tag that with Kawhi, and now you can tag that with KD. And it just pushes LeBron farther and farther away from Jordan.
Audacity to say it. If you're talking about them, why would we be insulting to them because they're responding to you speaking about?
Because, Stephen A., you can't make sense out of nonsense. This is what you specialize in. You specialize in making sense out of nonsense. That's how you get a TV job, by the way. If you can make sense out of nonsense, you're going to get a TV job. This is what Stephen A. specializes. It's nonsense, Stephen A. That's why. Just tell the truth, right? You say you're a real brother. I hear how you carrying ESPN. Come out and say that they're just mad because their Lord and Savior LeBron can get rings.
As long as they don't sit up there and engage in insults and they're direct.
They are engaging in insults. Just like the media was engaging in insults. Y'all call him sensitive, right? Y'all call him a fraud. Y'all call him a cupcake. That's an insult, by the way. Cupcake will get you a fight. I mean, if you call somebody a cupcake, I mean, that's an argument. Y'all called him soft. Y'all didn't say he killed the competitiveness of basketball, not dislike his concision. You can even say he doesn't like to compete. However, guys have took it farther away from basketball. Right? And I'll call him sensitive, but it's not in that way.
Responding to what you said, what's the problem? They have a right to do that.
I think the feeling is the first wave response, which I would think you would appreciate, Stephen A., is you can't care that much about what everyone says. Everyone's going to have...
You don't have to care to respond. You can just put people into their further perspective. You can put people in their place. And you can just inform them about the game of basketball because it's called a debate. Have you been in the barbershop before, Max Kellerman? You want to be black so bad, go in the barbershop, Max Tavius Kellerman. You're going to meet people you do not know. They're going to talk about the game, and you're going to want to respond. Max Tavius Kellerman. But like I said, you're a troll, you're inconsistent, you're an analytical nerd, and you're a bandwagon. KD just have to be able to decipher between trolls and people who want to have that debate. I mean, KD probably need to just walk in a barbershop. He'll have all the talk that he needs. Because he need a barbershop anyway. His beard look like a razor sharp knife. He shake his head, he'll cut your throat. Oh boy. The boy beard look like a butter knife. The boy head look like a plantation field. If somebody do something about that. The boy naps, boy. That boy naps look like an uncooked popcorn bag. Yeah, you need to go up into a barbershop. Have them hook you up. Give you a line in the tape. Give you some waves too. You're going to have all the conversation inside the barbershop.
Opinion, there are just too many people. He's too famous a guy. Too many people have opinions about him for him to worry about it so much. He needs to focus on what he's doing. The flip side to that, which I think I'm now convinced of, is that there's something very praiseworthy. Someone who respects people based on what they show them, whatever their status is, even if...
So you're trying to play devil's advocate because Jay Will got on you, bro. He got on you. Right? Jay Will got on you. Who's also sensitive, by the way. Jay Will got on you. And now you're trying to play devil's advocate.
They're just a fan and who does care about what they say.
That's kind of deep, Max. Maybe he's just bored at home and he's having fun and he's messing around with some...
Max is a troll, too.
Fans on Twitter. The fact that it's like, oh, he respects their opinion so much.
Well, let me answer that.
But he has a respect for what other people think, or he wouldn't be writing back.
Let me answer that.
No, it's not Max. He just wants to inform them about the game of basketball.
Durant responding to BT or another fan while he's hurt, sitting at home, is the same Kevin Durant that would respond to me and others when he was playing. So it has nothing to do with the fact that he's at home and bored.
In other words,
when he was playing and winning championships, This dude, if you had something to
Wait.
say about him or his game and he disagreed with you,
Yeah.
he was going to clap back at you.
Exactly, Stephen A. And you guys had something to say about him and his game for like all the time he was in Golden State. That's why he talked a lot.
That's who he is.
Well, KD just got to know how to decipher the trolls with guys who actually want to have a conversation. And KD also kind of can't let people sway his decisions and learn how to do things that's best for him. And that's that. Who cares what people think, right? It's to each of his own. When he dies, he goes to the afterlife by himself. He has to go meet, pretty much, God and face his own judgment. This is what I believe. He's not going to take his fans with him. He's not going to take money with him. And he's not going to take his family with him. So you should do what's best for you, right? Well, that's it. If you like this video, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell and that's that no nonsense.